Now, the question on a lot of people's minds is, what is Bernie Sanders going to do now after the election? Well, the Washington Post sat down with him, and, well, through this interview, we find out what his plan is going to be. In fact, he's telling the Washington Post that he's planning to use his leverage to keep Hillary Clinton in line. Get this. And this is, of course, an interview with John Wagner of the Washington Post. He said he and other senators are starting to plot legislation that would achieve many of the proposals that fueled his insurgent run for president, including a $15 minimum wage, tuition-free public college, an end to mass incarceration, and aggressive steps to fight climate change. Great. Now, the senators, Sanders said, also plan to push for the breakup of too-big-to-fail banks and to pressure Clinton to appoint liberals to key cabinet positions, including Treasury Secretary. He also said that he would not stay silent if Hillary Clinton nominated the same old Wall Street guys to regulatory positions that are important in enacting and overseeing the financial reforms that he supports. Now, on that, Wagner writes, like other progressives, he said that he's been troubled by rumors that Facebook Chief Operating Officer Sheryl Sandberg could be under consideration for that post. The post, of course, of Treasury Secretary. Now, here's a little bit of background on Sandberg. Sandberg is Silicon Valley's best-known female executive and author of a best-selling book on women's empowerment. Hey, great! That actually sounds like not too bad. But then you get a little further. She also happens to be friends, very, very close friends, with Larry Summers. Now, Larry Summers is, of course, incredibly close to Wall Street. Not good. I think that's a little bit too close and not a good pick for Treasury Secretary. Even though, hey, look, I'm all for women's, empowerment, and hey, it's great that she's a huge executive. That doesn't make her qualified to be Treasury Secretary. I'm just saying. You want somebody in there that's progressive. You want somebody in there that knows what to do to make a successful economy and not reward people like Larry Summers, people like that are close to Wall Street, or to reward Wall Street. Now, on that, Sanders said, I personally believe that a billionaire corporate executive is frankly not the kind of person working families want to see as Secretary of Treasury. We need somebody who has a history of standing up to Wall Street and is prepared to take on the financial interests whose greed and illegal behavior has done so much harm. You know what I want to see as Treasury Secretary? Well, there's a couple of choices. Bernie Sanders, Larry Lessig, or Elizabeth Warren. Either one of those three would be amazing. And look, if you guys have any other suggestions of who would make a really good Treasury Secretary, please put it in the comments. I'm very interested to see your responses on that as well. Now, of course, he mentioned that he's with other senators that are plotting this legislation. Well, who are they? Well, Sanders has named Elizabeth Warren, Sherrod Brown, and Jeff Merkley as people that he's crafting this with and people that will help him hold Clinton accountable. Now, he also warned later on in the interview Hillary Clinton about compromising with the Republicans right off the bat, as of course a lot of us progressives fear that she's going to do. And look, we've got reason. She's said, like, oh, yeah, I'm going to reach across the aisle. I'm going to work with the Republicans. Not good, right? Bernie Sanders saw that and he's like, yeah, that's not good. We're going to try to hold her accountable. Now, he said, it's not good enough for me or anybody to say, well, look, Republicans control the House from day one. We're going to have to compromise. The Democratic Party, before they start compromising, has got to rally the American people around our ideas and make it clear that if Republicans do not go along with reasonable ideas to benefit the middle class and the working class, they're going to pay a very heavy political price. And look, I would expect any of the Democrats that go along with that to also pay that same price. And look, we've seen Hillary Clinton move further and further towards compromise with the Republicans already Like on things, for example, Social Security, right? She wanted to, and this was reported by the International Business Times, David Sirota, writing that in paid Wall Street speeches, Clinton had actually praised the commission, the Simpson-Bowles Commission, that recommended cutting Social Security. Also, she wanted to put Wall Street in charge of retirement savings, privatization sort of Social Security benefits. Not good. In fact, really, really bad. So, Hillary Clinton already trying to make deals with Republicans even before she was running for president. Great. So, look, Bernie Sanders and, progressive warriors have got an uphill battle, man. But he does have one thing. He's got leverage, and he's planning on using it. He said, quote, "The leverage that I think I take into the Senate is taking on the entire Democratic Party establishment and, taking on a very powerful political organization with the Clinton people. We won 22 states and 46% of the pledged delegates, 13.4 million votes, and a majority of the younger people, the future of this country. That gives me a lot of leverage that I intend to use." Now, there's another part of this interview that I disagreed with Bernie Sanders on, and that's, of course, his opinion on WikiLeaks. He kind of downplays the WikiLeaks, and he says, hey, let's get over it. I know the stuff in there sounds really bad, but we got to move forward. We got to stop Donald Trump, essentially. That's what he's saying on the campaign trail. I don't necessarily agree with that. Yes, I wanted to stop Donald Trump, but I think WikiLeaks is super important. And look, he also said, look, hey, if you went through my emails, somebody hacked my emails, you would find a lot of negative stuff about Hillary Clinton. Well, yeah. No kidding. And saying, probably his campaign staff probably said a lot of terrible things about Hillary Clinton. But see, the WikiLeaks is different because it actually shows some instances of coordination, for example, with between Hillary Clinton and her super PACs. That's kind of an important issue. That's not just, I don't like this person or I don't like that person. There is some very important stuff in these WikiLeaks Podesta emails. Some of which, yes, is he said, she said, I don't like this person, whatever. But other things, it's very important. Like there are issues with the Clinton Foundation and certain pay-to-play, that kind of thing. That's important to talk about. So I will disagree with Senator Sanders, respectfully, of course, on WikiLeaks, because as I said again, this is important stuff. But my last point is if you think that Bernie Sanders, just because he did endorse Hillary Clinton, is not going to fight for progressive values, well, you're wrong. He ran on those progressive values. He's running on them again. He's trying to get them in the Senate. He's trying to put up this legislation, and he's trying to use all the leverage that he got, all of his political capital, into getting these things passed. And he can't do it alone. He's got to have help. He's got to have pressure. He does have to have some people on the inside, Elizabeth Warren, Jeff Merkley, Sherrod Brown, all those other people. He's got to have support inside and outside, and I plan to give it to him. And if you don't agree, if you think that he's not fighting for these issues, well, you're wrong. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent, non-corporate media, go to our Patreon page and become a patron. Patreon.com/TYTNation.